Hello guys, welcome again in 3D modeling class in 10th week for 10th week. Now the topic is still remain the same, generative shape design, but now we are going to more practice. But I think this one kind of model is easy for you to make. We are going to practice using extrude and maybe trim and maybe fillet and join, of course. In the previous lecture, I already explained the basic function for generative shape design. Now, in this video, we are going to making some simple part 1 and part 2. Okay, what is part 1 and part 2? Let's see. In case of part 1, this kind of surface has a kind of dimension about the length 120 and 150 and height about 80 millimeter. Okay, and it has some kind of the shape like this, maybe a height 30 and radius 35 millimeter. Okay, and also it has some kind of edge fillet in here, 5 millimeter. Okay, and it has also a fillet in this edge about 40 millimeter radius. Okay, I think this one is very easy for you. And for second part, we have some kind of like tetrapod, something like this model. If you see in the kind of beaches, we have some kind of this to avoid obstacle. Anyway, this kind of a model, it has angle 120 in here. In this case, I think we just use the function of rotation, and I think this one is easy for you. And this kind of sketch, you have to make this sketch first, and then you have to revolve based on this vertical axis from this surface. All right, so we have to draw for first part. First of all, we draw for part 1. We draw for 2D sketch first on the XY plane using position sketch or sketch is depends on you, and then using rectangular or center rectangular with dimension 150 and 120 millimeter. And after this, you just do extrude on the axis direction, Z direction. I think type dimension is 90 millimeter. Okay, direction is about default on the sketch normal. Okay, let's do this. Just open CATIA and go to generative shape design. Okay, and already in generative shape design in here, and first things we just select this plane and select position sketch. Oh, you have to make a axis as vertical and horizontal, something like this. Okay, and select to center rectangular, and where is dimension constraint, and here we have to select 150 millimeter and 120 millimeter, and then exit workbench and select this extrude of the sketch. I mean, you can select direction or Z component or normal sketch. Okay, and the height is about 90 millimeter. I'm correct? Yeah, 90 millimeter. Okay, now you have a surface like a box with the empty the space in the middle. Right, this is a surface. Okay, and the next step is, I see the PPT. For next step is you have to create a 2D sketch on the ZX plane. Create the sketch something like this. Height is 30 millimeter, and from this distance 80 millimeter, and it has radius, and this one is constant tangent each other, and this one coincident with this axis, and then this kind of curve has the height about 80 millimeter. Okay, so select this plane and go to position sketch maybe. Okay, you can hide or make it clear, or you can hide this first sketch. And the first thing to do, I think, draw the axis with constraint vertical. Okay, and make a line. The height is about approximately 30 millimeter, with the distance from this point to this axis 80 millimeter, and it has something like a arc. Maybe I use this arc, and this or maybe create another arc. Okay, and this kind of arc has radius about around 35 millimeter. This same 35 millimeter radius, and this curve is has constraint tangency each other. Okay, but is this still moving like this? You have to make it coincident with this axis. So make it constraint coincident each other. So this one is coincident with that axis. The next step is you have to make it align with the distance 50 millimeter. Sorry, make it constraint for this one horizontal, and the height is about 80 millimeter. Okay, and this one should be tangency each other. This one, of course, tangency. So now fully constrained, cannot move this curve anymore. Anyway, this kind of sketch you have to extrude to create a surface based on this curve. So you just go to Extrude Workbench. If I show you again, this one kind of curve has the cross section with this box surface. Okay, so the next to do is I show you in PPT first. you have to do extrude, and of course select the mirrored extent with the dimension about approximately 80 millimeter. Go here and goes there also 80 millimeter, so equally 80 millimeter. So select the extrude. You can type 90 or 80 millimeter is whatever. Okay, so now you have two kind of surfaces. The next to do, you have to do trim to cut, remove this section, and the outer section you have to remove using trim. But I go to PPT. Using trim, select this kind of icon, remember, and maybe you have to do select the other side or previous element to can guide of the section of this. Okay, just do trim. Select this kind of icon, trim, and split or trim, and select the surface extrude 1 and extrude 2. Maybe this one is not this kind of surface we want. You have to select the other side. Okay, so this kind of surface, you will remove this surface. Okay, just okay. Now you have a shape surface, something like this. Okay, with the interior inside is empty. This one is all is surface, of course, not solid. You can hide this sketch. Maybe I think it's not important anymore. So the next to do is you have to maybe join this surface, or I think not need. You already trim. So I think in trim it's already combined. Yeah, so directly go to fillet, select the edge fillet with this icon. Okay, and select this edge for edge directly and radius 40 millimeter, tangency, smooth. Okay, I think this one is very easy for you. Type is 4 millimeter, 40 millimeter for 40 millimeter, 40 millimeter, and select this edge. Also select this edge. You can show preview in here. Okay. Okay. Very simple, right? And after edge fillet, you can do maybe cover up the bottom surface. See, the now its surface is empty, like a shell, but actually this one is surface very thin. Inside there is nothing, right? So you can select fill surface, or you can select the boundary first and then fill surface. I think it's very simple using fill surface directly, and select each curve in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 8 edge, you have to select. Okay, and this kind of feature, fill surface must be close contour. Remember, close contour. If open contour, I think is fail. I think should be close contour. Okay. So select this edge 1, 2, 3. Okay, now you have close contour. Can preview. Now this kind of close contour filled by a surface. Okay. So now you have two kind of surface. First is this edge fillet, and the bottom one fill. This kind of two separate surfaces. So you have to do join to combine them. For next step, you have to do join surface. I select edge fillet. Oh, sorry, this one fillet. Fillet. Edge fillet. Save it. Okay. And also select fill. Okay. Where is it? Join. Select join. And select for edge fillet for upper surface, and for bottom surface select fill. So now the surface is joined together. After you create a join, you can able to create the fillets again about 5 mm, I guess. Yes, this create the fillet for two edges with a radius 5 mm. So this one 5 mm for both edges. You can preview. Okay, now we are almost done. So you finish to create the surface. Very simple. But this one is surface. You want to create a solid model based on the surface. You have to select a feature, a closed surface on the part design. So I go back to PPT. For next step, you have to go back to mechanical design or just select part design. In this case, you have to go back in part design workbench and select the closed surface with this icon. This function is to filling the surface with solid object. And select the surface with name edge fillet 2. In here, click this and select this surface. Okay, and then you will have the final product with the solid model, something like this. And after that, you can uh, hide the surface by click the hide or show for tag 3. In here, you can go back to part design or select the mechanical design, select part design, and there is icon like this. with thick surface and closed surface. Select closed surface and select this. It's fillet to surface, this surface, okay? And you just okay. And you can hide this kind of surface. Now, apparently you create a solid model. Okay, this is not the surface anymore. This one is solid model. Okay, this one is for part 1. I think it's very easy for you to follow. If you have difficulty, I think it's no. I think I'm not sure you. I'm sure you can do this. Okay, we go to second part. For second part, I think this one also very easy. The first thing to do, you have to create a sketch, 2D sketch, something like this. It has 500 millimeter, and this one height 100 millimeter, and the height from here to here 1200, and it has the something like 100 with the inclined line in here, 100 and 100. Okay, the first thing to do, you have to create this sketch and then revolve based on this vertical axis or z-axis, fully rotation, and then using function of rotation, you just to rotate surface and rotate another surface 120 and 240 degree. I think this also very easy for you. Okay, next, the first of all, you have to create like this, the sketch first, okay? Okay, this one just minimize, and you can create a new and select the part, select part 2, and go to generative shape design. We create on the YZ plane. I try to remember this dimension first. This one is 400, 500, 100, 1200 from here to here. Okay. Okay. And select this plane. You can select position sketch and the orientation horizontal axis and vertical axis. Okay. The first thing to do, create the axis. And maybe you have this line and this line like this. Okay. This length about 140, sorry, 400, and the height in here around 100 millimeter, and from here to here vertical measure direction 1200. So we can zoom out, increase the axis, this distance is about 500. Okay, so I want to move this, and you have some kind of line in here, which is the dimension is from here to here, 100. I'm correct. Let's go back the sketch. We have to measure from this point, I guess. 100 from this point and this point. So we have to create this point first, I think. Very interesting. So I think you have to do trim. Oh, it's impossible to make it. I think just go to construction. This line and this line should be collinear. Maybe parallel. That is very interesting, Mr. Mm, So this kind of line still like a still problem. What should we do for this? Maybe create another line. Coincident. Coincident. Okay, I think we have to create another distance from here for equally same, and this kind of graph is still have problem. See, it still have moving, and I think this kind of type of graph should be coincident. Okay, now this one is fully constrained. I hope my sketch is similar with in PPT. Anyway, this one measure from this point, not from this line, from this point, 100, and this kind of that measure from this and this point, 100. Okay, I think same. It's no problem if different. Okay, next is you have to sorry, it's not same. So have to create a revolve, and axis rotation is vertical direction or z-axis. All right, with the full scale of rotation 180 and 180, fully rotation, and the sketch is I think remain the same with PPT. Okay, 100. So just exit, and in this workbench, creative shape design, select revolve. Okay, you have this kind of revolve. Revolution axis, you can select the axis, is no problem. So you have a full of rotation of this shape. Okay, I think this one is also easy for you. So after this, we use the function of rotate with the axis rotation, horizontal direction, or y-axis with the angle 109.5 degree. Okay, in this definition mode is axis angle, element revolute 1, and axis direction, in this case horizontal direction, and the angle 109.5 degree, and that's just it. I think very easy for you. And where is it? Rotation, select this icon, rotation, select the axis angle and element of this one, revolute, and axis is and this y direction or horizontal direction, or you can select this axis 9.5. Okay, horizontal direction, h axis, or select the select y axis also same. Okay, because this y axis is this direction. Okay, now you have two kind of surfaces, but this kind of surface you have to join, but I think we later join them. Later we join them using trim. You have to create another rotation or 120 degree for using axis rotation z axis or vertical axis direction. I think the same. Okay, and rotate for 120 degree vertical direction axis or z axis, and another rotation complete for 240 degree goes there. Okay, so you have this kind of four surfaces. Okay, I think it's very easy for you. I think select this surface, select this kind of surface. Okay, and rotation axis, z axis. Okay, no problem. Typing 120 degree angle. If you see from the top, this angle 120 degree. Okay, and select another rotation. Click this icon. You can select this surface or this surface, it doesn't matter. In this case, I select this rotation. So you have to rotate 240 degree. If you select this surface, maybe the rotation angle 120 degree. Okay, so you have this object surface, but this surface is no, I mean, you have to trim it each other, because this one is you can see there is no black line or cross section line. In this case, you have to trim it. This is using already we done. Okay, go back to PPT and select this trim, and select the trim revolute 1 and rotate 1. Okay, very easy. This kind of edge will appear later on. And for trim, another trim, select trim 1 and rotate 1. Okay, so for another trim, select trim 2 and rotate 3. After trim, you finish and you have the solid object if you select this closed surface. Okay, I think it's very easy for you for this part. So select this icon, trim, select this one and select this one. Okay, now this, you can see the difference. Now it has a object intersection line, which is represented by this black line. Okay, you have to trim another, select this surface and select this surface. Okay, so the last one, you have to trim also this surface and this surface. Okay, now you have four surfaces. Okay, with already joined using trim, cancel. Okay, you have this kind of surface. So you are finished. Just go to part design and select closed surface. Select the surface. And you can hide the surface. And you are done creating the solid object based on surface creation. Okay. I think this one is very easy for you. For next lecture, I think we will practice more about generative shape design. And this video, there are a second part for this video. So, okay, this one is final product. So thank you for attention for first video. For second video, you will create another part. Okay, I hope you understand for generative shape design lecture. Thank you for your attention and have a good day. And please see another second part. Okay.